Hello and welcome to the studiobrootle tutorial. I'm going to run through how I make ambient textures like this. This is a pad which is made from just a chord, run through a ton of echo units and reverb, and then it's pitched down and pitched up, and then the different textures are mixed. It's really easy to make. You can hear the chord, the actual chord. The actual chord is this. So yeah, so what I do is you take that chord or anything from your track and you pitch it up 2 octaves. And I'll show you how I make this now. And then afterwards I'll show you what I do with the kick drum to make a techno drone, which is exactly the same process. So yeah, so I take that chord that I just played and I pitch it up. And then I'm gonna add it to an echo unit with a short time. Another echo unit with a slightly longer time, and another echo unit with a much longer delay, and then a reverb, and the reverb is going to be all the way wet, and then you're going to get this. So it's pitched up 2 octaves, and then 3 echo units and a reverb. There's a rack for this, by the way, in the description below. You don't have to make it yourself. Go and get that now. And that's what it sounds like. Also, what I've done is in the character section of 2 of the echo units, I'm adding some pitch wobble, which is just to simulate a tape echo. But when you pitch it down, the wobbles are much longer and they're like swells. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And so it's really nice, and they especially when you mix the 3 layers and they all move off the root notes slightly at different times. So yeah, so I'm adding a little bit of pitch wobble in 2 echo units, and that's basically it. And you get this sound. That's that chord pitched up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to flatten it. So I right click on it and I click freeze and then flatten. I copy it first because if I want to edit it, I don't want it to be frozen and flattened, so I have 2 copies, and then I can edit the original if I want. And the frozen version sounds like this. And so it just looks like it's frozen and flattened, so it looks like as if I recorded it in its audio now. Okay, and then I'm going to take that and I'm going to copy it. I'm just going to control and drag it to a new channel. And on that one, I'm going to take the transpose and I'm going to stick it down 12 octaves, 12 semitones, sorry, which is 1 octave. And then I'm going to take that one and I'm going to move it down another 12, so it's minus 24. So now I have 4 channels: the original one, the frozen original one, and then the pitch down one, which just sounds like this. And those sort of long reverb swells sound really good just on its own. And then when I pitch it down more, it'll sound even longer. So you get like these long swells. And then what you want to do then is mix them all together, so they sound like this. You can change the start, you can loop bits, you can process them separately, and then as well I will add the original chord back in, but take some of the reverb wetness off, which is this one here. I take it so you can hear the chord poking through a bit, and that's what you get. And then you can go to the mixer and mix it as you like. You can automate the line faders like that to bring different elements in. I mean, you can even bounce this and just use it as a pad sample in your track that's automatically going to be in key with your main chord. So yeah, that's basically it. Yeah, you can process it anyhow you want. You can process the different channels differently, gate some, delay some, and go from there. So yeah, and then the next one is I'm going to show you how to do it with a kick, and it's going to sound just as sort of like a background grit layer for techno. Let me just mute the chord. Okay, so I'm going to take a 909 kick, which sounds like this. Just 909 kick like that, and then I'm going to pitch it up twice, 2 octaves, like I did before, with the chord, and it's going to sound like this. This is just the same processing as I did on the on the first pad, which is 3 echo units with a little bit of pitch wobble on and a reverb. and the 909. It's up 2 octaves with the 2 echoes, 3 echoes, and a reverb, and it sounds like this. So you immediately get these drone tones. And then on this one, I've pitched it up 1 as well. I've pitched it down twice, but also up 1. And if you pitch it up, it sounds like this. And down. And then down again. And it's really low. Let me just this. I think there's some processing on that group. So yeah, the low one's really low. And then I'm gonna put them all together, so you get this massive tone, and I'll just put a kick drum under it as well. And then for if I'm using this in the background of a techno track, I'm gonna use it for builds. I'm gonna pull in different layers. You can pull them in like you can just have it in the background and then automate this one in, the high one in for builds, things like that. And I'm going to make it rhythmical as well, so I'm going to high pass it, but I'm going to put an LFO on that. You can do things like that. So you have this rhythmical background drone. You can sidechain it as well. That's a bit extreme, but you can get the sort of thing you can do. So yeah, that is basically it. You can process it, distort it, bounce it. But yeah, that's basically it. And then you can use the high sounds of it to build it like that, and then just drop them down. Sort of build tension in the track and then just drop them out. So yeah, that's roughly it. Another thing I've done before is use a tom. So it's just on a basic 909 beat, you can make a really quite a nice sort of drone out of a tom. It has more harmonic content than a kick. But yeah, experiment around and see what you come up with. Like I said, the rack's in the description below. Go and have a download of that. And yeah, if you make anything good, let me hear it, please. And yeah, I hope you found this useful. Have a good day. Take care. Bye.